Hi everyone, welcome to this video. So today we'll be using Exalate to synchronize issues between a Jira Server instance, which I've got here on my left side, and a Jira Cloud instance, which I've got here on my right side. Now the focus of the video is going to be how we preserve the user mentions within the comments on both systems, right? So that's the sync across seamlessly on both systems. Now, the cloud and server both use different formats internally to represent the user mentions. So the challenge here is really getting around that part and making the correct transitions. Right, so to kick it off, we'll create an issue on the Jira server side, and that would get replicated on the cloud end. Right, so let's just create a quick ticket. Right, so the server ticket exists, the number is 247, and what happens is that because Exalate is configured to automatically pick this up, it should be able to take this ticket and send it across to the cloud side. When we do a quick refresh, it is telling us that it's still working on it, so we'll give it a few more seconds. Right, so it changed to synchronized, which means the ticket should be created. And this should provide you the ticket number is created on cloud, and this is actually a direct hyperlink which I can just open as long as I have access to the cloud instance. Right, so that's my replica ticket created on the cloud side. Now let's begin with the fun. So let's start with a basic comment which has no mention. That should just be taken over to the other side. And now let's add a mention. Now this mention is of a user who exists on both sides. So what I'm trying to say is that this user would have an account on the server as well as the cloud. So this should be taken over as a normal mention on the server side. And lastly, let's add a mention of a user who does not belong on both ends. So this user hopefully does not have an account on the server side, so this would render differently. So I'll just show you how all this works. So let's refresh and see what's come over. So far what's come over is my normal comment which I had added, and the second one which had the mention of a user who existed on both sides, and this is just a normal user mention. All the formatting nuances internally have been taken care of behind the scenes, and this just appears as a normal user mention out here. Now for the third one, which I was telling you that it does not have the common account on the destination side, on the server side. Now how I've formatted it is that I've preserved the mention, but I've kind of added just like a comment there. You can fully customize this however you want, but it kind of tells you that there's a mention out here in the source comment, but this user who's mentioned does not exist on your system. That's why it's appearing as this. Now let's try it the other way around. So again, I'll use a user, or this time let's use a different user. So the server has added a reference to a user who does exist on both ends. So this should be carried over to the cloud side normally. Now let's add a user who does not exist. Brad Pitt, apparently. So Brad Pitt has an account on the server, but not the cloud. So let's see how that is carried over. And lastly, let's just do a clear text comment to see if that is taken across as well. Right, so again, 3 comments going over from the server to the cloud side. Let's do a refresh. Right, so the first one I'd added was of a person who had an account on the cloud side as well. So this carries over as a normal user mention. You're able to click on it and navigates to the correct account. The second one was for a person who did not have an account, the Brad Pitt one. So that would again appear as this. So on the destination side, you are able to tell that there's a mention, but it's of a user that is not existing on your side. This can be, of course, fully customized. And the last comment was a clear text one, which I just expect to come over as clear text, nothing special there. So I'll add the code snippets which achieve all this, and I'll link it out to the post. So hopefully this was useful for you guys. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.